Today we continue our small series of updates across many games that you may be waiting for and you don't know what's happening with them. For example, we just covered on the channel Pharaoh, A New Era, also Builders of Egypt and a few others, so don't hesitate to check on the video description below if you want to see these. But today we are talking about Viking City Builders. 2 years ago we got a trailer for this game that you can see on the screen, which took a lot of people by surprise. The game sort of came out of nowhere and looked really cool. A lot of people thought it actually looked too cool, it didn't look real. And then for quite a while, to be honest, we didn't get a lot of news. This is not a AAA game, right? At the beginning it was actually just one person, and then it's a small studio now creating this game. We're a bit similarly to Manor, another game you may have heard about and that we covered on the channel recently. There is both a strong city building aspect but also a strong RTS aspect. Now, if you go on the Steam page of the game, there is no release date that is clarified, but you can ask to join the playtest. To be clear, the playtest hasn't started as far as I know. I follow the Discord community of the game. I'll also put the link to that Discord community in the video description below if you want to join it. And it's pretty clear that I think the playtest hasn't started, or at least hasn't started for a lot of people. Maybe there's just a few people that have had access, but it seems not more. Talking about the Discord community, that community is actually pretty active. There is definitely a lot of developers and people from the team that are there, and they post very regularly. Pretty much every week you will see a video of one of the new buildings that they're working on or a new feature. So we don't know how much progress they're making in the actual game, but at least they're definitely communicating, the marketing is there. And as I said, you can see a lot of the different buildings of the game already, a lot of the animations, which definitely look really cool. There is a lot of details into the game, and as I mentioned, similarly to Manor, something that seemed very important to them is really to be faithful. They're trying to recreate the reality of that life, of that Viking life at that time. So if you're a fan of that sort of era, of that culture, you are in for a treat. They've also recently given a new interview that you can see on the screen over here. Once again, I'll post it in the description below. To be honest, I don't think there's tons of news in this. Of course, they're confirming a lot of things that should get you excited. For example, they are fans of Banish, Age of Empire, Anno 1800. And if you merge all three of those games, I think you can have a huge, amazing game. One thing though I wanted to mention to you that really caught my attention is this question over here. Will the title have an end date in the game, or will you be able to play indefinitely? Is it just a number of missions? Do you have, a sandbox mode that is forever? Those type of things. And the intriguing thing is they're saying we want our players to feel that they are the Viking leader in flesh and blood, which to me means that probably you have actually a leader, your leader is one of the population in your city, and that person is going to age with time and at some point die. And when he or she dies, I guess two things could happen. Either the game is finished, or maybe there's some sort of dynasty, right? Or you see either your sons could take over, or maybe somebody else in your city takes over. But then the second thing, which I think also is very related to the picture above, is I think the leader of a city actually has a role to play in the battle. It's probably one of those guys over here, like he's there, and if you die in battle, you probably really die. And once again, it could mean that either your game is finished, or you need your son to take over, or those type of things. So again, I thought this was something pretty interesting. They're saying we can't explain the details yet. I think this is something probably core to the game that they don't want to reveal too early, or maybe that's not completely finalized. But yeah, a pretty interesting one. As always, if you have any questions, any thoughts, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. Also, if you know something that I haven't mentioned, I'd love for you to share it, both for me but also for everybody else who's watching this video. Otherwise, if you're interested in this game, do subscribe to the channel, because I will for sure continue to follow it and share the news with you all. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.